Hey everybody, welcome back to the podcast. Second episode of the year, which is kind of crazy. And this episode has been a long time fan favorite of our office. And it is Devil Wears Prada. So here you are with our host, Recent aka Opinions, Owen aka Popcorns. And we actually have a very special guest. Her name is Angelique. Let's take it away.
Hi everyone, I'm Angelique. I don't know, do you want to call me Soda or Butter?
Soda?
We can call you Snack.
Because of popcorn
I'm the
opinions.
whole
Okay.
meal.
So I think we'll stick to you with Soda for now. Let's call you Soda.
Yeah.
I like Soda.
Soda,
Okay.
bubbly. There you go. Cool.
Soda Bubbly. All right. So Soda Bubbly, tell us more about yourself.
Yeah, so I work with you guys. I'm a colleague and I'm a business development manager. I studied a bunch of things and then I landed into sales. I live in Pretoria currently. I don't know if I'm going to stay in Pretoria, but it's a fun place to be. I work in Joburg. I'm very close to my family. Yeah, I'm just glad to be invited. Glad to be here for the ride today. Thank you, guys.
Amazing. Yeah, it's good to have you.
we're really
Thank
happy
you
to have
for
you.
your willingness to join. Yeah. All right.
Thank you so much.
we'd love to start this wonderful thing. So Recent and Angelique, why don't you guys, or can I say Soda Bubbly? Let's go on to the characters. I need to ask you, what did you think about Miranda Priestly?
Miranda.
Wow. Okay. I'll let our guest say her part first, and then I'll go into mine.
But I think we should
Okay.
also give some context to our listeners.
Our business.
No, our listeners, the people that
okay.
listen to our podcast.
What kind of context do you want to give?
So I'm thinking the context of who is Meryl Streep in this movie, what role did she
Okay.
play, go into the
Okay.
into the specifics about the character, and then you can
how-
start to interlink how she linked in with other characters.
So how I viewed her is she's quite the toxic boss.
Okay.
Quite a toxic boss because she gets everyone's names wrong. But she also portrayed a little bit of a lack of boundaries. She calls Andy when Andy is with her dad at dinner. But she has a great monologue with Andy in that part where they talk about the belts. And
Oh yes, with the fashion.
Mhm. Oh yeah.
Yes.
How it
So she-
trickles down.
She knows her industry. She knows what she's talking about. She has a vast amount of knowledge, but she has no boundaries.
I think she was quite tyrannical.
And it's like
Quite
people
tyrannical.
are walking on eggshells around her, if you think about it.
Yeah.
Like in the first scene where it's like everyone was at panic stations trying to make sure everything is in order before she arrives. And then I'm also like, even how the one girl had to get out of the elevator because Miranda was coming in. I'm like, that's not a good sign.
They're ditching their Crocs, going for the stilettos. That was crazy. So there was this high and mighty role that Miranda Priestly was playing. I think she is this insane leader, leading with the quietness in her voice, but a fierceness in her back pocket. I'm saying.
Yes. I mean, her famous words, it's 2 words, that's all, and everyone knows what she means. And
That's all.
she can just say, that's all. And then it's like things will happen. But she also puts the burden on Andy to give Emily some bad news that she will not go to Paris, which was also not fair. Again, tapping into that culture, the toxic boss trope.
To me, it's just
That-
funny. It's funny that Emily which is Emily Blunt. It's her character's name as well, Emily.
Yes.
It's funny.
Which was
But
cool.
yeah, so shame.
Yeah, I feel for her.
Yeah, Emily had to pull on some short strings towards the end of the movie, but we'll get to that. And I mean, Andy had to figure her way back into this role with Miranda Priestly being this tough boss. Now we get to our characters, Andy Zachs. She is this journalist. She was always curious to get a journalist job, and now she ended up in the what's the company's name again?
Runway.
Say again.
Runway magazine.
Runway magazine.
Runway magazine. So she has got some big shoes to fill since Miranda Priestly is the chief editor of the Runway magazine. So she, as this journalist, had to, I don't know, she was almost not fitting for the role, but she got in, and in the movie they said they took a chance with her. Man, what a
Yeah.
turn this
Like-
movie actually took.
Like, I don't know about you guys, but like in the beginning, you see she has the qualifications and skills, but she is not prepared for this specific role. Like she's she's not specifically, she doesn't even know what's Dolce & Gabbana. She's not writing anything down in the interview, and even what she was wearing during her interview. If you know the interview process, like you need to do research on the company itself. Yeah, so she needed to get her stuff together, and you can see throughout the movie, you can see the character getting stronger and stronger, and her slowly adapting. You can see it in her clothing and her style, effort she's putting in, and her growing and developing as a character as well.
And it's no less to thank for Nigel, which is a super good friend for her in the movie. And I don't know what you think about about him, Rizne. What did you think about his sass?
He's very funny in like the sarcastic way. He's like, well, if you don't like it, just quit. And then she's like, why would you say that? He's just being brute. It's like also nice because he's being brutally honest. Like this is a cutthroat industry and stuff like that. And towards the end when he was saying about all of his sacrifices he's had to make to be there. And it's like when he was hearing her complain, he was like, well, just quit then. But then I liked the way he was also offering a helping hand in terms of take these shoes, take this, maybe this will help you. Like in being sort of that realist, but also like mentoring her in a way of being like, here, do this, this, and this, and you'll make it somewhere. And then also when she was complaining, like giving her a reality check to be like, look, if you walk out that door, there'll be 5 other people that will be there to replace you because they want that position. So in that sort of way.
Oh, no. He helps Andy get perspective to survive in the fashion industry, because you can have as many qualifications and be top in your class as much as possible, but like that won't matter if you don't want to adapt in that field that you are in.
For her to adapt and still staying in the company, that shows some grit. And I mean, with a boss, circling back to Miranda Priestly, she wasn't an easy boss to work for. She worked her way up, got to Emily's level, actually demoted Emily, as you said earlier, and that just shows some grit. So with the help of Nigel, with the help of good relations, she got to it. And that is something I think Anne Hathaway in Andy's role was good with. But you can also then see her relations deteriorating with her like personal friends. I mean, we've got Lily, Doug, and Nate, the close friend group of 4, which just started to deteriorate because of her job and her grit fighting for this.
I like that dynamic of where there was a shift in terms of, as you're saying, the friendship was deteriorating. But if you look at it, it's somewhat coexistent with life. It's like the more you get into your career and the more successful you get at it, the more it kind of absorbs your life, and then you start leaving the friends and like the family behind. But especially with Andy had to go through and constantly being on call and that kind of stuff, the higher up she got, the more she was taken away from her friends, from her family, and that kind of stuff. And as you highlighted on Miranda being a bad boss, it's also, if you looked at it, like if you looked at the one scene where Andy tried to book those flights and stuff so that Miranda could get to that concert
like a play or something.
Yeah, play, Coachella or something like that. I don't know what it was. And then when it didn't happen, she like constantly blamed Andy for it. And that was the real turning point to be like, okay, maybe Andy might not be cut out for the... And like you can see that second guessing of herself in that way.
Yeah. Can I say something that might be controversial?
Go for it. That's what we do in this channel.
So Nate, her boyfriend's name, he's kind of rude, because in the beginning, right, when he finds out she went for a fashion magazine interview, he literally, I wrote this down, the quote is, did you do a phone interview? Because he's like, oh, but you can't be a fashion girl, look at you, like, did you do a phone interview? And that bothered me so much, because if my partner was not supportive of me going for an interview and he's joking with me, it's like, to do a phone interview. He wants the old Andy back. He's not supportive of her career. And remember, Nate, she's right out of university. She landed a very big job. So when you are in a relationship like that, both of you need to have the grace to give each other, to let you be able to build on your career, and you need to be able to be secure in your relationship enough. And I just felt like he wasn't secure in his relationship, because she started actually prioritizing herself. She started taking care of herself. She started prioritizing her career and her appearance, which is not always necessarily a bad thing. I mean, yeah, you can go too far. Yeah, but also, like, I feel like he was used to her being there only for him, and her career is important. So, yeah, I felt I didn't like Nate as much. Also, put it in perspective. What if your phone rings and it's your manager that's calling you, like when they were at that friends dinner, right, with all of her friends, Andy and all the friends and the boyfriend, but your friends try to grab your phone and it's your boss at the other end of the line. Like, I
think out of courtesy, I would have accepted the call, and I would have possibly say, just at least to my boss, would this be possible to look into tomorrow? The date with her dad, that was the one where she booked the plane tickets, but the one with her friends, there was a different type of phone call. So then I would definitely say, listen, I'd love to take a look at this tomorrow. I'm just taking some time off, having some dinner. So because it's important to establish that boundaries.
But then I also feel like you're trying to impress your boss so much, especially with how they start in the beginning with, you can work for Miranda for a year, you can make it anywhere, basically. So it's like she didn't want to kind of jeopardize that. I understand from Andy's perspective about why you'd constantly be on call, because at the end of the day, Andy is playing the long game in terms of she's not going to be a runway forever. So I would cut Andy some slack in that way, because like even when starting new jobs and stuff like that, you really will go out of your way to impress your higher ups so that you can get to where you need to be. So establishing a boundary early on might set a bad tone, but also it's a weird dynamic in terms of knowing when to be putting your foot down, when to also letting things happen.
That's true. I guess setting up a boundary is healthy. It shows, to me, if I were to be an employer, I would say that creates some sense of not accountability, but it's a sense of that this person I'm hiring is human. So I would respect the space, not taking on the role. I mean, it's boiling it all down as a movie. So, but yeah. So it's good to have that boundary, and it is also true what you say, opinions or popcorn. Not popcorn. Reason. So yeah, I mean, we've been
doing this show for so long. It's opinions, man. It's opinions.
So yeah, I mean, I think you make a good point. You want to impress your boss. I mean, look at us. We're 3 salespeople. So come on, we want to impress our boss. We want to make the numbers. We want to get the good benefit, and also show the people we can do it. So I'd say of all the people in the world, 3, we get it and we understand it the most.
I agree with both of you. I think you should have boundaries. I think that's very, very important. So yes, I agree, popcorn. And opinions, I agree also with you. I think what I didn't like about the friends in that regard is they took her choice away in making that choice by taking her phone away and deciding for her. And I think that is what bothered me more so, because I would never do that to my friend and decide for them that, no, now you are going to, like, I would tell them, listen, just tell your boss you are at a family gathering or at a friend's gathering or whatever, and it's time now. It's past working hours. But I would never take that choice away from them, because it might be an emergency. You don't have context and everything. So for me, it's like a combination. And what bothered me the most is like they are trying to decide for her life, what's good for her. And that bothered me a lot.
Absolutely. And that put Andy in a bad light, which made her look like she is choosing her job above everything else. But it's important to her, as per Reason's point. So they already, as you said, they made the choice for her, and that's not putting her in the good light. I want to
and especially since they gave her gifts. I mean, since she gave them gifts as well. Like, I mean...
Absolutely. A Bang & Olufsen phone. Oh. Did you know that Bang & Olufsen phones, those things were so expensive, the pinnacle of almost tech in that time. Listen, put your pride in your bag, that new blue handbag that you just got
Birkin,
for free.
I think it was.
I'm not sure what
I don't know what it was, but it was the bag.
Put it in there. Yeah, come on, man. But I want to address that point of Angelique with the boyfriend, Nate, and then I want to address it in context with Christian Thompson, the guy from The Mentalist. the guy
New
with the
York
blonde hair,
editor.
very
Wow.
charismatic guy. So this
Does not
this
take
is,
no
this
for
is,
an answer.
does not take no
Clearly.
for an answer. But linking into the plot discussions, I think poor Nate pushed down Andy, and she was starting to do good for herself. Nate was saying, "I miss the old Andy," and things like that, which isn't supportive of her role, as you said, soda bubbly or Angelique. And so that's the whole thing where Christian comes in and actually supports and actually provides some new opportunity. And
Yeah.
I don't know, it's got some riz in this game, not just
No, absolutely.
Andy
But he
trying
sees
to
the
riz up.
potential.
Yeah, and it feels to me Andy needed to beg Nate within her new role for some love, and that wasn't right for me. Simon Baker, Christian Thompson, the mentalist guy, he was on a different level. He saw her and deemed
You
her
saw the
worthy
potential.
of chasing. Yes. And I thought,
Yes, I agree.
wah.
I agree, Popcorn.
You do.
No,
That
I
was my
agree
point.
because he wanted her to meet a New York editor. Again, she said no to that. She turned down an opportunity to be home with her boyfriend. And if you're a good partner, you would say, listen, go to that New York editor because that's what you really want to do. You don't want to be in the fashion industry. Go there. So yeah,
Absolutely.
no, I definitely agree with you.
And we're linking into that point.
Yeah.
So it was her boyfriend's birthday. So she knew she was going to this runway or this event. So she was trying to get back home. She got back home. She missed now the birthday party and whatnot, but she brought a cupcake with a candle inside of it to say happy birthday. You could have just taken that cupcake and threw it in the trash can. Because, that's saying a lot of her to take her busy day, get a cupcake with a candle on it, putting in the effort. So they are taking poor Andy for granted. That was my opinion. But Andy in the movie did not realize this. And that was something that bothered me.
It really bothered me on how they wrote it, as if the boyfriend is in the right when he isn't. I was like, there's no support for this poor girl. Shame, man. It's her first job that's like a massive job here out of university. And this guy is so insecure in the relationship. A real guy would not do this. He would fully support her. That's how a relationship works.
Yeah, and sometimes you have to make the sacrifices to be like, you know what, maybe I'm not going to see her
long term.
this many, yeah, but I'm not going to see her maybe for this couple of weeks because she has things to do and stuff like that. It's like there are compromises that have to be made.
Yeah.
And yeah, I feel like there could have been a bit more compromises from Nate's side.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the way it was written, it was like try to feel bad for Nate, but then it's coming across as Andy's not getting support.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that's why we rather look at the viewers as what they perceive as what the writers actually written it as.
Yeah.
So we should take into account this was released in 2006. So this was fairly normal back then. Zeitgeist is so now today we're like, okay, well we know a bit more about healthy relationships, if I can say it like that. Having a bit more perspective 20 years later, if I can say it like that.
That as well, I think up until that stage when the movie released, all three of us were quite young. So now we've matured, we've seen the movie for what it is.
Grown up.
We're grown-ups. Both Reeson and I now have mustaches. I can't say the same about Angelique, but
No, I don't. I'm clean, guys.
We should. Are you clean? Okay. Well, we can get you a mustache.
Yeah.
So
go to crazy.
Now
store.
I want to get one of those stick-ons. Just put it on. So I wanna link in what you guys thought of the plot. What did you think about the overall movie? How did you feel about this movie?
Okay, let's
really
go with
enjoyed
Angelique
the whole-
because she's has everything in passion. So let's go with you first.
Yes, you actually have some industry knowledge. Let's go.
Industry knowledge. Okay,
I'd say.
listen, I love the Y2K montages. Yes, it was good. We start off with a good 2000s montage, a great song of Suddenly I See, which is when you immediately see the typical juxtaposition between Andy and the other fashion girls to emphasize how different she is from her. from the other girls. So it's that typical not like others trope, like not like other girls trope you see in the 2000s. So I love it. I love watching these things. It takes me back, you know. But the heels that they wear in these shows, I would never be able to wear on the Gauw train. Let me tell you.
I can give our listeners a bit of context. So Angelique and I, we've met each other on the bus. So we take public transport to our workplace.
Yes.
Reason's lucky. He can walk to work. That's how lucky he is. But I mean,
do I though? But I do not walk there.
No, you don't. But
don't
yeah,
walk.
I don't want to get robbed.
We take the public transport. It's quite safe, by the way. So we take the public transport to work, and I've met her on the public transport, like on the bus to work. So I don't think wearing stilettos. There's too much grooves in the floors. There's like gaps between the train and the platform. So you'll break an ankle.
Can I just say, when I first saw that montage in the beginning, I was like, is this supposed to be like a girl group, like supposed to think like where they all have different stories? And then at the last minute, they were like, no, okay, we're going to make the main character Andy. Because I looked at it, I was like, so is this going to be 4 ladies fighting for one position at a fashion firm? Like, that's what it came across as in the first bit. And then like, okay, clearly somebody might have scrapped that idea and then they just made it of one person. Like, I think to me, that's also, what it felt like.
I get you. I think more so that gave more perspective as to where is Andy's situation right now. Everybody else is doing this, and forgive me for saying this, but everybody else is doing this nice matching pairs of underwear. Then it's going to the dresses and the heels, and everything is just perfect. But Andy is a person. She's normal, and that's something I think which that scene illustrates very well, even just with the clothing, without saying anything.
Have you guys also noticed with the plot, there's a very big, obviously it's very deliberate because of the fashion industry, but the emphasis on weight throughout the entire plot of the movie.
Yes.
Which also ties, and it ties with the zeitgeist of, like, you know, the 2006 era. So there's an emphasis on weight. I mean, what did Nigel say? He said cellulite is one of the main ingredients of corn chowder.
Yes. And then didn't he also say regarding the, what was it? 2 is the new 4 and 4 is the new 6, I think it was. Or something like
and
that.
also they said hire the smart fat girl, and a size 6 American is to give you guys context on women's clothing, a size 6 American is like a small to medium South African. Just to give you context, like it's a medium, size 6 is a medium. So
and then
hire the smart fat girl and it's medium, you can really see in the dialogue how the era was, like how the 2000s were. Like it's very, very interesting.
Yeah, and especially with, remember when we saw Emily, how when she got sick and they were like, oh, what happened? And when she eats, she's having like the cheese diet. So she's having little bits of it highlights also now a product of that era would be eating disorders. Because now you can't eat because you're not getting enough food to get. And then that's what made her sick and then also crushed her dreams in terms of going to Paris to go to that fashion week.
She literally yells, "You don't deserve the clothes, you eat carbs." And she's one stomach kilo away from my goal weight. And when I want to faint, I eat a cube of cheese. Oh my word, I have wrote all these things down because it was like, it stood out to me so badly because, I mean, we were little when this came out, but we grew up in this era, you know, and I think also as a little girl, I remember this was so normalized. And older, I have way more knowledge and insight.
But I'd hardly agree that it's a valid, and this is just my opinion, I'm happy for a debate. I highly disagree that starving out yourself or doing that type of like diet is not very beneficial to your health. But Sarah.
But then again, you can say the same thing about the bodybuilding industry. Like if you looked at the people that are like on the Mr. Olympia stages and stuff like that, they look in peak physical condition, but half the time, literally all of them say, look, I look like I'm in the best health possible. I'm really not. I'm close to death. Literally, they say when you're at that level, you are actually the most unhealthiest that you can be. in terms of,
Wow.
yes, you're reading the right stuff and all of that, but it's like you are forced to change your body in a way that's not sustainable. And like that's the same thing with, if you look at it, in this movie it was all about you need to be thin. In the bodybuilding industry, it's all about you need to be below this percentage of body fat to get to where you need to be, and it's like those are dangerous levels. So yeah, I would say
But I just don't think it's sustainable to go to work every day hungry as hell, you know?
yeah.
Yeah,
But then I
That's-
also
that's
feel
my
like
point.
it's the cutthroat mentality, because as it's mentioned by, who's that guy, the bald guy, Nigel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, as he said, there's always going to be 5 to 10 other girls that are willing to take your place and are willing to do
Absolutely.
that. So it's like that toxic cutthroat mentality that is like they can always replace you.
That's what
yeah.
that was an incredible way of saying you gotta do this. Everybody else would do this for this job, but
Yeah.
it's what it takes, honey. That's how this
Yeah.
industry works. So yeah.
So I want to ask this question, and this will be directed to both Popcorn and Angelique. How do you think beauty standards from back then versus now, and how do you think they might address that in the new movie coming up?
Popcorn, do you want to go first? I need to formulate my answer.
You need to formulate your answer. So
She's
Man,
cooking the answer there.
you know, because look at the time. Right? It's in 2006 this movie was shot. Let's say 2005 or 4 the movie became a concept. So we worked with 2000s, the year, the timestamp of the 2000s. And I'm the least guy actually that's fashionable, by the way. I'm just saying, just putting it out there. But I think in the perspective of what is considered in the mode today, or what is in today, I think there's going to be a lot of like adjustments. What is seen as visually that is class, or that is. I think there's going to be a lot less clothing. Can I put it that way? There's going to be a lot less, a little bit more of skin in the game. Can I also put it that way? So there would be like a crop top. There would be things like that. So to me, I don't know all the terms that is out there. And by this time, I'm really hoping Angelique's got her point.
Okay.
It's like, I am drowning here, please help me.
I'm drowning.
Cool.
But yeah,
Okay.
there's a lot of adjustments to be made.
Yeah. So, what I'm hoping they'll be doing is I'm hoping for more diversity. I'm hoping to see a bit more different body standards, that there are just, that we don't just see size 0 and size 2 as being the norm, to give context on beauty standards from 2006 to 2026 in the women fashion industry, specifically
20 years. That's
20
crazy.
years, eh? 20 years. So we saw it was like heroin chic in 2000s, right? That heroin chic, skinny. Okay, so that was what was popular. I'm using the term heroin chic because that was what they called it. That was the literal term they published in magazine. And then we saw a rise in like the curvy girl, the Kim Kardashians of the world in the 2010s. Okay, so that happened. We saw more surgeries and injections occurring in the 20s. But now we are seeing a rise in Ozempic, GLP-1 medications. We are going back to the heroin chic era. So what I'm hoping as a woman in my mid-20s, I am really, really hoping for more diversity in different body types. I'm hoping for the vernacular that they use to be not as harsh in terms of because this was quite harsh, but I do understand why they did it, because it was like the modeling industry. But today we do have different kinds of models. You know, I just want to see more diversity also in the people they have as actors as well. Yeah, it would just be great to see more variety, I guess. And in terms of physical beauty standards, in terms of the clothing, I think we'll see a bit more baggier clothes. Think about the jeans we're seeing today. We have actually low rises. It's coming back, but it's not as low rise as it was in the early 2000s. So how fashion works is like we always repeat ourselves. Like it's always like this cycle. In the 2010s, like high-waisted jeans were like the massive thing, and now we're going back to mid-rise and low-rise and everything. And we're going back to the baggier types of jeans. And what do they call those jeans? Barrel leg jeans. So I think we'll see a bit more of that.
I'm not sure.
Bootleg was quite
I was going to be
popular
like, we are
as
not the
well.
experts.
Oh, we're not the experts,
We're not
man.
the
Clearly.
experts over here. We are severely
Yeah,
misinformed.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Yeah, I think we'll definitely see maybe a bit more. Also, I don't know. I don't know if they'll do more clean girl aesthetic. You know, the clean girl, the rise of the clean girl aesthetic. We had this
Like
maximalist.
zero makeup
Um,
and whatnot.
we had a maximalist surge in 2020 during COVID, where people like experimented with makeup, right? And in 2016 to 2020, it was just like
People were
weird
bored at home.
makeup and concealer, and everyone did full face of makeup. So if you want to go in beauty standards and what will change, this is this. And then what we're seeing now is people are way more natural in terms of clean girl aesthetics. They are moving away from the very thick eyeliner and thick brows. It's way more if I can take
Minimalist.
celebrities.
Yes.
Yeah, it's way more minimalist.
That sounds
Yes.
minimalist to me, and it sounds more sexy. I like a girl without makeup. I'm just saying. But that's just
I
me.
must
I like
say,
the
I'm
natural.
gonna add to that, Popcorn. Sometimes you think someone is not wearing makeup, but they are wearing makeup. They're just really good at makeup, and it's just like
That's also
so.
true.
Like you can get makeup that has sunscreen in it, so it will give you like a glow, for example. So we've changed. The makeup industry has also vastly changed now. So it's not as cakey anymore. We have skincare is also a massive thing these days. We take care of our skin. We're not in suntan beds like we were in the early 2000s, where people would fry their skin.
So this is crazy. So you believe all of this would go back into the movie, or this would at least have some elements in the new movie?
Or that she hopes would be in the movie.
No. Well, only one thing I hope for is more diversity and variety. I'm hoping for more diversity. Yeah.
All right.
Like predictions for the movie would be like the trends that we've been seeing.
Okay. And Reason, tell me,
Yeah.
what's your expectation? Would you say there's going to be a lot of change? What do you think is going to happen within the clothing industry, within the new Devil Wears Prada
I honestly feel like if they want to do the movie justice, I feel like, especially how they did with Devil Wears Prada, it was a reflection of the time. And yeah, as long as yes, I want inclusivity, which will probably be there, because remember, in today's day and age, there's a lot more inclusivity with everything that's happening. So I feel like if they do it right, as you said, as long as it reflects the era that we are in now, that'd be great. Because remember, then when there is something where we watch this in 20 years' time, you can be like, oh yeah, I remember this. This was part of
there's a golden
this era. Like, you can immediately go, okay, I remember that's how it was then. How we remember how this movie, how it was set in the 2000s, even though we were young, it was like, yeah, this was normal sort of situations.
I've got a bonus question then. What would you then believe would be the plot of Devil Wears Prada 2 to link that into?
Honestly, I'll let Angelique answer this one.
I have no idea. Maybe they'll bring
That's the
Andy
thing.
back. Do you think
think
they'll
they
bring Andy
are.
back in Runway magazine? Like in Runway, like this.
I've seen this behind the scene thing where Andy is walking next to Nigel and she was wearing this white suit. So I'm thinking she's going back to the Runway magazine, or they might just be in contest with the the Runway magazine. So both perhaps Nigel and Andy starting their own new thing, and Miranda Priestly is then seeing the fruit of her labor was a bit in vain, and there's a better way to run this type of magazine.
That is a good
that's
idea.
theory.
Yeah, I like that. No, that's a great theory.
With me, I don't know if I saw a trailer that has Miranda in an elevator and then Andy
I
is
saw that.
next to her. Yeah, and I saw
mean,
them like, Miranda's
long
took
enough.
you long enough. Yeah, and then I'm like, interesting. Because I know, isn't Miranda did walk away from, she stepped down as the chief editor.
She
no,
actually
she
did.
didn't.
What happened there?
Okay, so she gave Nigel's position to someone else in order not to step down. So that was a bit snaky of her. So in order not to step down, she gave it to Jacqueline.
Yes. So which is also an editor of another
Yeah.
like not firm but of another
Magazine.
position magazine. I'm not sure.
So,
Yeah, in order not to be
so
replaced.
Miranda, So Miranda is still the chief editor at Runway.
Jacqueline would have replaced her at Runway, but then she said, no, give that position that would have gone to Nigel, give that to Jacqueline. So that was a bit achterbox.
Very sneaky.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd stick to the word snaky. I'm not sure how much of our listeners
Snaky.
do understand some Afrikaans. Let's go to the legendary point of our podcast. Would you classify this movie as a rewatchable or a regrettable? Over to you, Reeson.
Okay, I have a bit of a controversial one. I would say, well, all honesty, in preparation of this, I watched this movie like, I think 3 times, and like, just to understand it, and like,
Dang.
it's a great movie. I'm not gonna lie, it's a great movie. For me, it's not up my alley, so I'm gonna say
Too much
it's
of a chick
not.
flick.
No, it's not that. It's just like I have no fashion knowledge or anything in that sense.
Okay.
So I would say for a perspective like me, I would say it's not a rewatchable. It's more a regrettable for me because genuinely on my taste of movies, it's completely out there. It's not something I would remotely watch in that
Okay.
way. But I will watch Devil Wears Prada 2 for the sequel of this episode.
Oh, for the follow-up.
But-
Yes.
Yes, for the plot.
For the plot. We'll do it for the plot.
Do it for the plot.
Angelique,
Yeah.
what's your news?
I like the genre of the movie. I think for the time it's a rewatchable. Now, like in 2006, it was a rewatchable for me. And I rewatched it many times in my life. Guys, it was on repeat with 13 going on 30. Now, with the
My
constant...
sister loves it.
Yeah, like literally. And also, I love clothes. I would say it's a rewatchable in terms of the clothes, great acting, and the storyline is good. What makes it regrettable for me is the constant unhealthy emphasis on weight, though it does demonstrate the zeitgeist. And also just the relationship with her partner, with Nate, and how they portrayed it at the end with her going back to him and not showing like, girl, you do deserve more. You do understand. You deserve more. So I think in that sense, it's a regrettable for me.
I completely agree. I didn't like the plot between, can I call it a love triangle? Between
Yes.
Andy, the boyfriend Nate, and Christian, the editor for other magazine, and so I didn't quite like that, and that was the only part in the movie that I didn't like. I was kind of hoping that she would like take things, break it off with Nate, but I know there was some point in the movie that she wasn't happy with Christian, so I kind of understand. So that's the only regrettable point. I would say this is a rewatchable. I enjoyed the movie.
Wow.
I enjoyed the building up of Andy and that she became set in her role to become a journalist in the new company, that she showed some grit, that she made it through hell at the Devil Wears Prada type of deal. So I think it was a good movie. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the ups and the downs of the movie, the chase, the hurry, then all of a sudden being on top, and then with all of that, being still kind to Nigel, being kind to Emily, giving some old dresses from Paris back to Emily. I loved it. It was great. So that's me.
Final
Awesome.
ratings? Final ratings?
Final rating.
Out of 10?
Out of 10.
Yeah. Okay, we'll
I'll
go
give it a solid
Angelique, Owen,
8.
and then me. All right.
8.
Owen, what would you
8
say?
for me. I'd say an 8.
I'd say a 7. Just to be
Okay,
different.
that's good. I can live with that. Let's crunch some numbers. What's that in statistics? I think
Okay,
that's
let me
going to be
actually
like...
Let me
Get your
actually look that up
calculator,
now. I am doing that right now. Okay, so that's basically 8.
It's...
So that's, wait.
Take the 3.
Okay, wait, that's 23. 23 out of 30. That
78%?
is 77%.
Then I can live
I was
with
close.
77%.
Yeah, you
I
were
can live
close.
with that. You were close.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us on this episode. Angelique, we just say thank you to you as well for your industry
Bye.
knowledge and this. And yeah, I can't believe it's the second episode. Thank you for the year support of 2025. I really look forward to this year. Soon you'll see our faces not in person, but on the digitals. So
in due
we're
time.
working on that in due time. So
Yeah.
amazing.
And Instagram.
We're working on
And
that too.
Instagram. Yeah, we're working on that too.
And the Discord. We're working on that
Yeah.
too.
All right. Bye,
Ciao,
guys.
Bye.